So I'm pretty excited to try out the latest Apex trade copier, which allows you to trade multiple accounts. Previously, I was using the free Tradeovate trade copier, but there were a lot of limitations there, specifically not being able to use an ATM or bracket orders. So with this Apex trade copier, I finally decided to pay for it. And I want to basically share my experiences so far from the past 2 weeks of what the do's and don'ts are. And these advice could be helpful for someone using this for the first time or someone who's had a lot of experience with trade copier. So yeah, hey, how's it going? It's Rocky. It's been a while, but just wanted to put a disclaimer up there that, please don't use this as a basis for your investment decisions. So first of all, what I'm showing here is the Apex Investing Institute website, and it's showing you the Apex Trade Copier 10.1. And before I get started, there's actually two institutions. So there's the Apex Trader Funding that you're aware of. This is where you go for evaluations and performance accounts to be able to be funded, and this is how you get paid. So this is Apex Trader Funding. And the actual trade copier is from Apex Investing Institute. So they are two different institutions. It's the same owner, Daryl Martin Jr. And really, that's just they're covering their bases, really, because whatever their copier is, if there was ever a mistake, they want to make sure that they're not liable for it for whatever you're using it for, because this trade copier could be used not only for NinjaTrader. It can be used also with Tradeovate and TradingView. So I think that TradingView part, that's pretty helpful for a lot of people. I myself am not a TradingView user, but I know a lot of people they use TradingView a lot and they're pretty excited about it. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I do all my analysis on Thinkorswim, and I'm not planning on changing anytime soon, because I know in the end of the day, it's up to the trader to make the right decisions. But to me, if you set yourself up with good tools, which I have with Thinkorswim, that will make you successful along the way. So I just want to run through just a high level overviews on the do's and don'ts with the Apex Trade Copier, and I'll also show you the actual platform to go through what's happening there, just to reiterate the ideas I'm talking about here. Very important one here is you do not lead with a sim or a simulation account. So it's really important to lead with a Tradeovate account. So I think that is key. From my understanding, you need to be able to lead with a Tradeovate account, not NinjaTrader and not TradingView and not a simulation account. It has to be a Tradeovate account. And then the next one here, which I didn't know, I don't believe this line item was here when I first downloaded it, but I may be wrong. But do not save your NinjaTrader Workspace with the trade copier open. And again, I'll go through the exercise. I'm just giving you the key points right now on what to look out for. And if you're rewatching this video, just go through the timestamp and go to the area that you actually care about. And of course, it's really important to have the latest NT8. So I won't go through the detail on that one, but that's the latest version of the NinjaTrader. Right now, that latest version is 8.1.2.0. And here is the most important part, because this is where I went back and forth with Apex, and it was a losing battle, which got me frustrated, which is actually one of the main reasons that I am starting a journey with Top Step as well, because I need to diversify where I'm getting my funding. But right here, they say that flatten all does not close pending entry positions. So I'm used to Thinkorswim. And when you do flatten all means it closes your existing orders and all pending orders. And unfortunately with this one, it really costs me a lot on the evaluation, and it sucks when there's things that I can't control. It really messes with my psychological way of looking at things, and I don't want to blame it, but it is something that instigated to me making really unfortunate decisions that blew up some evaluation accounts. But it is what it is. I just need to do a better job of controlling that And with this one, I now do an extra step, which I'll talk about, to ensure that I don't have any pending entry position. Because what happened with mine is I did a flat to null during the US market hours, and lo and behold, at midnight, a order executed, and it went against me. And it's a good thing I was awake, but I wasn't there early enough to be able to close it, and that really hurt my trailing drawdown. But that's just my experience so far. I'm going to be honest with you there, and that's really one of the reasons why I am diversifying where I want to get my funding from. So those are the quick highlights on what to do and what not to do with the Apex Trade Copier. And there are actually these videos that they have here. Highly recommend it to check it out. It's on YouTube. It's very helpful for you to understand how to install the toolkit and updating it, and then how to use the actual trade copier. And the most recent video they made is the addition of how to use it with TradingView. So quite helpful there, and that's our quick highlight. All right, so now let's go to the actual show here. All right, so let's go to the actual fun stuff here and look at the application itself. So what I have here is NinjaTrader, the latest NinjaTrader, and this is the setup that works for me so far. I have, the account tab right on the left here. So the account tab here, I have the super DOM on this side with the P&L. This P&L part is quite helpful. I have the chart on the left side here because it's just helpful for me to be able to drag it up and down. Unfortunately, with NinjaTrader, you can't drag the existing orders on the DOM itself, which is what I'm used to in Thinkorswim, but that's just part of the learning. And then here, this basic entry screen here, it just helps me because it shows me on here what the open orders are. And I'll go through an example. I'll actually, market is open right now. It's 6:41 p.m. The Pacific Coast, so the Asia market is open during Globex. That's why you see the movement. And then here is, you can see the accounts that I have. I am leading with the Apex account, and I do have my ATM strategy here, which is basically something I've been doing manually in the past. So the ATM is actually a very helpful tool that I can now use by doing this. And as you can see here, the tabs I have is YM, which is the E-mini on the bottom here. And what I did is to make sure that they're color coded. You see they're all blue. It's all blue here, so I never make the mistake, because I do have a tendency to switch between micro and E-mini depending on how the market is doing, or really if there's any news or anything for that matter. So that's my actual full setup there. And then next I will switch into showing you the actual trade copier from Apex. I don't have it open right now, so to open it, what's important is, first, if you have Top Step, which I'm showing on the top here, you need to be able to open the R Trader first, the Rhythmic Trader Pro. You need to open it first for this to connect. So you can see with the Top Step, I have 4 accounts here, and then I have 1 Apex, which I am using to pretty much be the lead. And I recently decided to open a live account. It's $0 right now, but eventually we'll have some money on this. Give it a shot, because I really traded a lot better with my own money, which is limited right now, but hopefully we'll get over that hump and we can refund our account and be trading the way we normally do. So as is important that was mentioned, do not save your workspace with the trade copier. It's really important to open it with a fresh one. I've gotten to a point where at the end of every trade, I close the trade copier and I open a new one. So to open a new one, you go to the tab here on New, and from New, you'll see the Apex copier here. So you click on it, and the trade copier will open. So the actual trade copier actually opened on a different screen, so I will switch to that screen. So this is where it opened to. You can see Apex Copier version 10.1 and the leader account. So the leader account is right here. So again, this is the key part. You need to start with a Tradeovate account. So that is very important. You need to start with a Tradeovate account. So that is what we'll do. So here's my Tradeovate account. I only have one Tradeovate account that I'm using. I used to have 20. I've gone through a lot of evaluation accounts. It's actually kind of sad because for my first payout, I got the 7 PAs within 17 days, no problem, and got a payout. But ever since then, it's been rough. It's been a rough patch. A lot of people like to tell me, why don't you trade one at a time? Why don't you try to figure it out? But the problem is I have figured it out. The issue that I have right now is just discipline. I've lacked the discipline to be there for the entire US market hours like I used to. So now I'm trading whenever I'm free and I'm forcing it. So it's one of those where when you know your weakness, you try to work on it, and hopefully I'll overcome that soon. But yep, just a little rant there. All right, so here are all the accounts up here. It is showing the lead account here. So that's the Apex account. And then as you know, there's Sims that comes with NinjaTrader. So that's that account. And then also, I mean, all of these accounts are Sim, right? But there's a practice account that also comes with the Top Steps Trader. So it's there. I couldn't take it out. I tried taking it out, but just going to let it be. And then next, we have the actual Top Steps account. So I have 4 accounts that I'm trading right now. I believe you can have only up to 3 of the funded accounts, but I decided to do 4 because during my testing, it cost me a little bit, but we'll get the focus back soon. And then right here is my live account. So hopefully that live account will grow, but again, my funds are limited, and that is the main reason why I am trying to get funding from these prop firms. As I mentioned, it is very important to lead with a Tradeovate account. I tried leading with a simulation. It didn't work. I don't know what it's like with TradingView, but like what I mentioned, they do have a video to go figure. You can check that out. All right. So next, you see on the left side here, this is the on-off button. So you have ways of enabling it. So you can enable it by clicking it, and you see that green mark there. Or another way is right click and toggle on for all of it, just to make it easier. And then from there, for example, for mine, I can disable all the practice accounts because I don't really care for that. Less data to be pulled. I'm sure it doesn't matter, but the less things it's working on, to me, that's a little better. So disable that simulation account. That's one way to do it. All right, so I'll just turn that all off for now, just to play it safe because the market is live. Another one to point out is the instrument. So the instrument that you're trading is right here. And the instrument could be anything, right? Could be any of the E-minis that you're trading, micros, the index, Forex, I think. I don't know if that really works, but anyway. So for right now, I am trading the YM. That's what I exclusively trade. And as I selected that, you can see on the bottom right here on the tab, you'll be able to see that changed to YM December 2023. Very important to do that. And again, with this tab, you can actually open one for ES and NQ, but my trust for this system is not quite there yet, and I don't really trade multiple contracts from different instrument at once. But if you wanted to, I think the option is there and you could try it. So something to try there. All right. So next one I want to talk about is the ratio. So the ratio right here. So depending on your strategy, depending on your drawdown, depending on what balance you have the ability to change the ratio. So let's say you bought one contract of DYM. And for one of my Top Steps account, let's just say for every one, I actually wanted to buy 2 E-mini. So you just need to change the number here. So I'll make that yellow so you can see where I actually changed that number. So you can change that number. So when you execute it, it'll be 2 times what your original entry is. And yes, let's say your original entry was 4 YM, you actually can do fractions. So I've done it already. You can do a quarter, 0.25. So if you bought 4 E-mini with your lead account, I would buy only 1 with this top step account. So I'll use a different color on the other one. So you can see right here that 0.25 for that account, it'll only buy 1. So 1/4. 0.25 times 4 is only 1. All right. And all right, so that's one part about the ratio. And then the next one is I'll talk about the cross. The cross gives you the ability to trade both E-mini and micro. So with this one, you can see I am trading the E-mini, right? But for some reason, let's say for one of this, I'll put a yellow mark so you know where we're actually writing here. So on this one top step account, let's say that I wanted to trade micro for this for whatever reason, and I can turn that on. And with this one, so if I traded 1 E-mini from the lead account, all the other accounts will also trade an E-mini except for this one here. This one will trade 1 micro. It's pretty helpful. It's pretty good. However, I wouldn't recommend it, especially during the Globex. And I will bring up Thinkorswim here. Hopefully I'll have a good example to use. But basically, there is a delta sometimes between micro and E-mini. So let's look at the watch list here. So this first one is the E-mini, and this next one here is the micro. You can see different volumes, right? And you can see here, right now, E-mini is at 174, MYM is at 173. Of course, whoever it is, moneymaker, brokerage, I actually don't know who control it. It is in their best interest to ensure that both of those instruments are showing the same number. However, last week I had one where the delta was 20 points. So I was pretty much stopped out on one order on the micros, but my E-mini stayed fine. So from my experience, I wouldn't recommend doing the cross. I really don't. It's just better to, like someone mentioned on YouTube on one of the comments, just trade micro on its own, trade E-mini on its own. Don't get fancy with it. It's until you have more trust in the system, right? And right now, I do not trust the system just yet. I am using it, but I don't have the actual confidence on it, okay? All right, so the next one I want to talk about, and this is crucial. You see that on each account, you have a flatten for each one of them, right? So you can do flatten on each one if you choose to, or you can do a flatten all to close all accounts. But like on their website said, flatten all will not close all pending orders. And I have a lot of experiences with different brokerages, and I will tell you, that is a big no. Flatten all means flatten all. But hey, if that's how it is, then right now when I trade, let's say I closed all of the actual accounts, or I did a flatten all or closed it out. The one thing I do now as a precaution, because it already burnt me, is this. I go to this account tab that I have here, and I will maximize that. So what I then do is go to this position tab on the bottom. I want to make sure that there's nothing open there. And then the crucial part is this orders part. On the orders tab, I try to, let me give you some visuals here. I go to the state here, and I filter that to ensure I don't have any working ones. Because again, it burnt me because I did a flatten all. I thought it would close any pending orders because that's how all the top tier brokerages are, but this one did not. And that's because of the trade copier. But I did not want to argue any further with Apex because, hey, I don't really want to argue with the hen that feeds me right now because I do need their funding. So I'll follow their rules and just leave it as is, even though they were a bit condescending when I was communicating with them. Anyway, so all right, so that's just the what to worry about. Now I want to go through an example on placing a trade. So let me just bring this back to how I normally have this set up. Okay. And I will switch the screen back. All right. So going through doing what I preach, just because there's a lot of changes here. I'm sure it's a non-issue, but I'm just going to close it and open a fresh one. So I will open up a new Apex Copier screen, and here it is. It showed up, all fresh. Of course, I could load the last save instrument as it shows here, but it doesn't hurt to do this, so it's that you're doing what you're meant to do. So I'm picking my leader account, and I am selecting a YM, and just going to sort this out because it's just a lot easier for me to look at it when all the similar ones are with each other. I will toggle on. I will disable the practice account and the live account because those don't have money yet. And then next, the ratio is all 1. However, I just opened a new account, and with that new account, I'm just going to I'll trade 2 on that because I have a bit more room on being able to do it. All right, so that's all set up right there, right? So next, I'm going to switch screens, and we'll go here to our workspace, I guess, for trading. All right, but before we execute a trade with a YM, I'm going to bring up Thinkorswim here. I'm going to look at our charts. I'm going to see if the things I look for are there to go long or short. And just as a reminder, the left is time-based, the right is tick-based. And I look at a stochastic RSI for both sides. They're both on the overbought side, okay? And then on the MACD, I can see here a crossover occurred on the left and a crossover occurred there too. So it's telling me, all right, let's go long. So it's just a practice anyway. So if it goes south, I'll make sure to cancel it right away. So now I am going to go to the screen that I have to actually execute the trade. All right, so this is NinjaTrader. And then it's important to, again, look at what your instrument is. And I'm looking at the quantity because I've made that mistake. And from there, we are going to go long. Okay, so I'll go long here. And let's go at 174. So it's actually executed. I'll ask you if that's what you want to do. And you can see up here, the limit order was 174. And it's submitted. Okay. And then on the upper left here, you can see it on the chart too, right here. Buy limit. And it just filled it. One contract for this leader account. You can see my P&L. And because I have an ATM, you can see here my target. Let me bring it up. Target here, selling at 36,224. And then my stop is at 36,114. Again, my entry is at 36,174. So that's the text. I like to see that. And on the left right here, you can also see the chart itself. So with this one, what I like about it is, for example, let me just make it like this so you can see it a lot clearer. Let me just erase all of that. So I can drag this. Actually, before I drag it, I'm going to go up to the chart here, maximize that just so you can see what's going on. We will look at our positions. So in the positions here, you can see that that one account that I had has 2. There's 2 contracts on there and the rest are 1. So it worked. So that's pretty good. And then I like to look at the orders on the left tab here. And with this one, I wanted to see all my working orders. And you can see with my working orders, on this first one here, you can see what was copied. So actually, there you go. So the green and the red is the original account, the leader account that's working. And the ATM was copied on the other 4 accounts. See, a limit is working here and a stop order is also accepted there. So that's what's going on there. Okay. All right. So how are we doing so far? So far, we're up $5 per account. So that's good. So uh, unfortunately, with the DOM, if you scroll up, you see this price here. I can't drag it down. Okay. The only way for me to move it is to right click and go. Was it right click? Oh, that wasn't it. Give me a second. I don't even remember. Right here. So right click on the price, and then I can increase or decrease price. Okay. So I can increase that to 36,225, and that moved up. And then on the left, all of that also applied to all the other accounts. You can see that on the chart. I have the chart open because I like to be able to just click on this and be able to drag it as needed. There you go. Dragged it to 201. And if we look at all their open orders, you can see right there, all the limit changed to 201. So to me, that's pretty powerful, which is pretty good. Anyway, that's our little run through on how to use it. Hopefully this has been pretty helpful for you. Right now we are down $5 on this trade, but it's okay. It's actually I'm confident with that trade. Check out my post tomorrow and see if we actually made money on it or not. But right now it's positive $5. I think I'll just leave it there for now. It's a good way to end it. Hopefully you enjoyed this preview I have on the Apex Trade Copier. Let me know if there's other kinks or suggestions you may have. I know it's a pretty long video, but I appreciate your time. And I'll see you in the next one. And hopefully we can, I can show you more results because it's been a long, dry process for me. I really need to get some results pretty soon. All right, y'all have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully this has been very helpful. See ya.